I'd like to give an example of an experience I had that was incredibly moving. And there's an expression in music, opera specifically, when you hear the angel cry, and it's just an expression. I had a similar experience at a museum outside of New York in a little town called Beacon, New York. The museum is DIA, D-I-A. Very contemporary, very contemporary. It's in an old factory, and so they have these large spaces. Well, in one of these relatively large spaces, they had these huge steel, rusty steel sculptures by Richard Serra. And they were arranged in a room that was too narrow for them, purposely. So you walked through and around these sculptures, and my heart started to beat, and this kind of feeling of pressure. And I don't think it was claustrophobia. I thought it was something that Serra was purposely intending. If those sculptures had been out in a beautiful landscape, the feeling would not have been the same.
There is a painting at the gallery here in Greenville, and that painting depicts Vashti, the first wife of Ahasuerus. And the reason that I am so taken with it is not only that it is very beautiful, but what it represents. You see the queen very upset, and she had it basically. And we all know what happened. But what makes it even more interesting for me is if you look behind her and you see the hieroglyphs and how that whole palace is depicted in the painting, that gives you an idea how a rich emperor like Ahasuerus, how those palaces were. We don't know if that was the case, but it gives you an idea how rich and how powerful those people were. And then to stand up to what she has to do, because if she is not going to obey with his demands, she will be killed. And she was killed. But to give you an idea of the depth of that story, it emphasized that story so much that you actually want to know what happened then. And I wish I could see it.
One day, a mother brought a young child into the gallery, and I love to have children come in because they see things much more differently than we do as adults. This child was very precocious, I could tell, and he stood in front of a William Halsey painting. Now, William Halsey is probably known as our father of abstract expressionism here in South Carolina. And this painting was a non-objective work, beautiful colors. And this child stood there and went through the composition and said, oh, he put this color on first, and then he went to this color. And as that child spoke of the creative process of that painting, my mouth just dropped. I had never thought that way. I had never seen it that way. And this child drew me in as if the painter were right there creating the painting in front of us. I'll never forget that experience, a child leading the art dealer. It was good.